Peace, this is Star with the Star Bloom. Y'all, my thing is trying to like mess up. This is Star with the Star Bloom. So, part two of Slow Burn. Big Mama just got me, y'all. So we gonna just go on and get to this. She said y'all wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have said nothing. So don't say nothing again. So we ain't gonna say nothing again. Um, I wanted to be at a rate where we actually have truth and realization, but I don't want it to be a way like I'm telling y'all. You know, because a lot of the times when we feel like somebody's telling us something, we have this direct obligation to challenge it. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of that's necessary because we need confirmation. You're always supposed to take stuff back in spirit. You're never supposed to take anybody else, without actually having your sound centered, conference. So I be having conferences, y'all. With her coming out of my conference, I was sitting with myself and spirits and working with me on just being at a rate to where I get to be in the moment versus being in the plan. Sometimes we don't know how to go step by step, you know, and we'll force things forward so fast that when we get to whatever destination is that we're trying to get to, we forget to remember to experience it. So we'll find ourselves living in the past. And then, like I said, for some of us who have been at a rate, who have had certain levels of constituted transitioning permeated within our presence, it's a lot of things that we in, and a lot of those are habits. I have been recognizing how a lot of certain generations have been speaking, and it's almost like it's cold talk. We all talking across the wires at each other. And nobody's ever been able to actually sit down and everybody been able to be heard because, like I said, there's always this desire to challenge. And I was watching for the first time the movie Sinners. I don't watch movies like this, y'all, but I like Michael B. Jordan a lot, and I just wanted to see it. I felt like it was a message there, and as soon as I start watching stuff, y'all, it's always like my spirit team. I be covering myself, making sure that I'm not pulling in anything that I'm watching. I don't want to watch certain stuff, but as soon as I started watching it, I started writing. I started basically getting at a rate, and it was almost like it was like a side part, But I still watched it, and I got to a point to where I just recognized like sometimes things stop to get you started and you don't even know it because the stop be so magnificent that it's fatal. Some conversations ain't supposed to be public, which is why we have so many conversations on our spiritual journey trying to figure out how we are to be, how we get to be, how we can be, how things could show up for us, and there's so many questions because there's so much that you won't know because you gotta go and grow through it yourself. And yeah, I just heard we in Big Mama Stadium, and it's something different about being with her, but it's also something that's being recognized. How Father Spirit comes in and how he sets the stage for her. Sometimes when you get stopped, a lot of the times, like I said, we automatically, because we've been cushioned. The last several generations have been put at a state of cushioning. Um, we didn't really have that much conditioning, and this is not for everybody because everybody's story and walk and talk is going to be different. There's a lot of amazing families who haven't lost their lineage, who are still connected to the tethering, and they have some firm facts that have been passed down, either verbal or yeah, through trust and different things like that. I'm not speaking for everybody. I believe that we all get to be at a rate to where we adult within ourselves and not require people to make us be aware of who it is that we're talking about. I don't have to be at a rate of representing anything for anyone. I believe I could just speak for myself, and if you find anything beneficial to you, then be at that rate. And I'm going to do that just in a way of just continuing to speak freely before there's any, discrepancies to combat that energy. Like the realizations that I have is that because of the cushioning that's been present, there's been so many things that's given to us. So let me be exact. I remember when I was younger, I've had a lot of finding my placements. What do I mean? I would walk up the steps and one day and I would end up uh, twisting my damn ankle because I done walked up the steps. I remember like having like a twisted ankle from walking up the steps. Don't ask me, but that's exactly what happened, okay? And I remember going into the office and these people gave me a peppermint. They gave me a plastic bag with ice. They called my parent and they told me to lay down and I got a peppermint. Okay? That's not today. Okay? Today there's prescribed medicines automatically you're gonna get. And I'm not saying that we should downplay or cast any judgment based off of the trajectory, advancement, enhancement, increase, growth of any systems. That's the whole point. It won't be the same. The changes and the adjustments will be made. However, in place of the things that kept and were steady with a lot of our ancestors, the things that we've allowed to be our consumption, the things that we now consume, they aren't feeling us. They aren't feeling us, which is why we all having to detox, figure out ways. We was always supposed to be doing this, y'all, but it's like it's intensified at this rate. Why? And it's to get close to me. That's what I keep on hearing Big Mama say. Purify themselves to get close to me. Being clean to stay steady within me. You can't get in Big Mama's waters dirty, constantly wanting to be refreshing, yet you keep on injecting yourself with displacement and convincing yourself with the urgency of being insufficient by numbing yourself to not feel, but then recognizing it's in the emotions of, in the energy of, in the flow of, in the focus of, in the intent of, in the calling forward of. It's in the visualization, the speaking. And it's like all of these things being at a rate, and we have become a people of prescription drugs, weed, fentanyl, like the stuff that I've been hearing that they're doing. They saying that they out here like putting fentanyl on top of the weed, and how they'll poison the thing that you gain to train you in your pain. And that's everything. They'll watch you. They're mindful to learn from your lessons. It's the cycle song. McDonald. The cycles. It's a song called Cycles. I can't think of it. The entities, the things that want you to be convicted instead of convinced. They will watch you fail forward and they will learn from your positioning. But a lot of us have been in revelation of self with spirit, in spirit, having received spirit, calling back fragments, calling back radiance, learning how to actually show up, creating